Now we're going to be looking at some multiples. Now, if you're not sure what multiples are by now, multiples are basically multiples of numbers. So if I want to find multiples of 4, you do 4 times 1, which makes 4, 4 times 2, which makes 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, and you just keep going. It never stops. It's infinitely going on and on and on. So those are multiples. Now multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, etc., etc. And it keeps going on as well. So those are multiples. So if I asked you to find the first 2 multiples of 4, you'd only write down 4 and 8. If I told you to write down the first 3 multiples of 6, you would only write 6, 12, and 18. That's what multiples are. Very, very simple. So question 1, find the first 6 multiples of 3. Well, 3 times 1 is the first thing I would do to get the first multiple, which is 3. 3 times 2 is the next one, which is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. And we're going to do one more because it wants the first 6 multiples. So 3 times 6 is 18. So that makes the first 6 multiples of 3. Easy stuff, right? Question 2, find the third multiple of 6, the third one. So not 6 times 1, not 6 times 2, but 6 times 3 because we want the third multiple. So you do 6 times 3, which is 18. Question 3a, find the first 10 multiples of 4. So guys, go ahead and do this. I'm pretty sure you guys can do this pretty simply because you should be able to do your multiplications, right? So you do 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6, 4 times 7, 4 times 8, 4 times 9, and 4 times 10. So that makes the first 10 multiples of 4, right? Now B, find the first 7 multiples of 6. Do the exact same thing, but this time for 6. So 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, 6 times 5, 6 times 6, and finally 6 times 7 because we want only up to the first 7 multiples of 6. And that's it, guys. Now C, find the first 3 common multiples of 4 and 6, which means the multiples of 4 we got here. And the multiples of 6 we've got here. I've just got it from my A and B. I've just wrote it down. I just kind of continued on. But we've only need the first 3 common multiples. So the first common multiple is 12. I can see that's the common one. The second one is 24. And you can see that the third one is 36. I just put more just in case. But as you can see, we found the first 3 within pretty easily, haven't we? So the first 3 common multiples are 12, 24, and 36. That is it. Question 4. Find the smallest multiple of 7 that is greater than 100. Okay, so 7 times what would make something greater than 100? Just greater than 100, because we want find the smallest multiple of 7. So we want the first number that's a multiple of 7 that just exceeds 100. What I'm going to do is see what 100 divided by 7 is, because I want to know how many lots of 7 goes within the region of 100. So 100 divided by 7 is 14.2 something, something, something. So what I'm going to try is multiply 7 by 14. Yeah? 7 times 14 is 98. That's less than 100, isn't it? So this time let's try 7 times 15, which is 1 greater than 14. 7 times 15 is 105. And there's no other numbers between 14 and 15, right? We can't have decimal numbers. It's either a multiple of 7 times 14, so that's 14th multiple, or the next one right after that is the 15th multiple. So that's why I tried 15. So 15 times 7 is 105. So 105 is the first one that just exceeds 100. So 105 is the smallest multiple of 7 that just exceeds 100. Makes sense? Okay, question 5, find the greatest multiple of 11 that is less than 1,000. So it's the same kind of question, but this time we want the largest possible number that is just below 1,000. That's a multiple of 11. So similarly, I'm going to do 1,000 divided by 11 to check how many lots of 11s are within the 1,000 region. So 1,000 divided by 11, I just calculated with my calculator, it got 90.9 something, something, something. So what I'm going to try is times 11 by 90. So I just rounded it down. 11 times 90 is 990. That's less than 1,000, isn't it? But I just want to check. What's 11 times the next one? 91. 91 times 11 is 1001. That exceeds 1000, isn't it? We don't want it to exceed 1000. So the one just below 1000, that's a multiple of 11, must be this one here. So 990. Make sense, guys? So those are multiples. All you need to remember that if you want the fifth multiple of something, you just multiply it by 5. So make sure in this section you need to know your multiplications very well. Okay, so that was multiples.